You are listening to Pocketful of Diamonds, Book 7 of the Nadia Wolf series, written by Nicolette Pierce. Copyright 2016. Audio copyright 2025 by Pierced Heart Publishing. Digitally narrated with full cast of voices. Chapter 27. Ian woke to the sound of Gwen laughing. He'd never heard a sound so sweet in his life. If she was laughing, everything was right in the world. He cracked his eyes open to find two dark round eyes staring back at him. "Manny?"
He's been waiting all morning for you to wake up.
Gerard said. "How is everyone?" Ian asked immediately. He looked around, trying to figure out where they were. Inside a very large tent of some sort. Beds were spread all around, and he could hear children laughing and squealing outside.
Everyone is safe. They're all outside watching your brother make an ass out of himself. The kids are running him in circles.
It'll be good practice for him. Ian still couldn't get his bearings. Are we near Najamba?
Just outside of it. We can head back any time now. We were just waiting for you.
Don't wait for me. If it's safe to go back, then go.
There's no rush. It's not like there's work to go back to.
When Ian frowned, Gerard smacked him on the arm.
Don't go trying to save everyone. You can't even walk.
Gwen had a thought about a startup company that might help and not bring more trouble.
I've heard. She and Saba have talked all morning. I think it will work, but it might take some time to become profitable.
I'm still selling the house so I can fund the project no matter how long it takes. Gerard groaned.
You really need to stop with this martyr crap.
What do you mean? I'm trying to help.
Yes, but at the cost of your own life and the depletion of your accounts. How will you raise a family if you worry about everyone else?
Gerard stood and kicked a heavy trunk.
Besides, we'll be just fine.
Ian narrowed his gaze to the trunk. What's in there? Don't tell me. He looked at Gerard in horror. Don't tell me you have a trunk of diamonds.
Then I won't tell you that.
Ian cursed. What in God's name are you thinking?
It'll be gone within the hour.
Who is taking it, and where?
David and a few of the Dark Lions, and Gwen.
Gwen?
Don't worry.
Don't worry?
Who else would know where everything belonged?
But
It has to be this way. She's the one who stole it all. If the items aren't returned, she could go to jail for a long time. David and Boma knocked enough sense into Duvine last night that I doubt he'd speak one word against her, but he might not stay silent forever.
But
Don't you want the stolen jewels to go back to the rightful owners?
yes, but
But what?
not her.
She'll be gone 2 weeks, tops, and she'll have a Dark Lion with her at all times.
That doesn't make me feel better. In fact, it made him feel worse. Here he was, unable to walk, and she was about to globe-trot for 2 weeks with another man. The tent flap opened and David walked in, followed by Gwen. When she saw him awake, she bounced on her toes and scrambled over to hug him, pushing David out of her way. Ian laughed and she bent over, raining kisses all over his face. She was so full of life. The weight of heavy burdens lifted off her shoulders. He always thought her beautiful, but today she was devastating to his heart. He had to let her go. If unburdening herself meant that she had to return necklaces and other jewelry, he wouldn't stop her. Because to see her so happy, even over something so simple as him being awake, was magical. She looked down at him, smiling.
How do you feel?
Good. I might even join David later with the kids.
I know you're lying, but I'm glad you feel good enough to tease.
He reached up and played with a lock of her hair, pulling it down toward him. Gerard told me your plan.
Oh,
She frowned, shooting Gerard a daggered glance. He said it might take 2 weeks. She nodded.
I know where everyone is. I have a permanent map in my head. We were going to leave soon, but I was afraid to go before you woke up. I didn't want you to think I'd left again.
He smiled. You know I'll hunt you down if you do.
You won't have to.
She kissed him and leaned down to whisper in his ear.
Meet me in Las Vegas in 2 weeks.
I will.
That's exactly what I want you to say when we get there.
He raised a brow and then laughed. I promise. It was hell seeing her walk out the door, another man beside her, carrying the large trunk. But he promised he would see her in 2 weeks, and he would. And in that time, he would make Duvine pay for his crimes, see Najamba restored, and damn it, Manny! Ian shifted the monkey off of his head and onto Gerard's lap. Tell him I don't have fleas. Gerard raised a brow.
Have you smelled yourself lately? You probably do.
David laughed and took Gerard's seat as he left to find Manny a different diversion.
Seriously, how are you feeling?
David asked.
Do your wounds feel hot at all?
I'm fine. Ian tried to scoot up into a sitting position, but couldn't without help. David stood and assisted. Thank you for everything. I didn't mean for you to have to come back to Sierra Leone. In fact, I thought Maya made you promise never to leave her side.
She amended the promise.
What is it now?
To come and get you home safely, or so help her she'd march over here herself, big belly and all. She said big belly, not me.
She's a keeper.
Yes, which is why I'll be leaving tonight. I have Duvine and the girls waiting for the next flight out.
How are the girls?
Confused and disoriented.
How will you manage all of them and Duvine?
Not to worry. I called in favors and we have an aircraft coming for us, filled with soldiers on their way home. Duvine will receive an escort to jail as soon as we land.
Why was he at the rebel base?
He had them on his payroll and thought it would be a good place to dump the girls. He was furious when he found out they took you as well as the girls.
Thank you for coming for us. He shrugged.
What are big brothers for?
Saving my butt, apparently.
You never did learn. Always tried to be different. You're still doing it.
What are you talking about?
You were shot in the legs. Grayson and I were both shot in the shoulders.
What? When did this happen?
You've been gone too long.
David pulled off his shirt to show off his twin scars, one on each shoulder. How did that happen?
Long story that involved Remy.
Ian remembered Remy quite well. He was Grayson's bodyguard, an American version of Boma. How did Grayson get shot? Ian questioned, hoping it didn't involve Remy. Or Ian might have second thoughts of meeting Gwen in Las Vegas where they all resided. Lie. He would meet Gwen in Vegas even if it meant facing a firing squad.
Do you remember his crazy assistant that wouldn't let you see him?
Ian nodded.
She shot him with a nail gun several times in the shoulder, but you? Nope.
Next time I get shot, I'll request the shoulders, Ian stated sarcastically.
That's all I ask.
Ian could finally stand, and just in time too. While he couldn't dance around the fire like the rest of the dancers, he still wanted to be part of the action. Tonight was for celebrating. It was confirmed that Duvine was in jail, Gwen was still safe, Najamba residents were back in their homes, and, the best part of the evening, Gerard and Saba were getting married. He wasn't sure when it had all happened. Ian had thought maybe there was a small bit of attraction between the two before, but he didn't think Gerard would actually take the plunge, not when he was dealing with demons of his own. But for whatever reason, something had shifted between the two, and Ian noticed the difference in Gerard right away. This past week, he didn't drink. Not a single drop. Even tonight, he didn't have anything. And the light that blazed in his eyes when he saw Saba dressed in a white ceremonial wrap was probably as dopey looking as when Ian had seen Gwen. However it happened, Ian couldn't be happier for the two. They looked good together, and neither could stop smiling. Ian couldn't stop smiling either. Not only was his friend happy, it meant Gerard was staying in Najamba. Sure, he had always said that, but Ian never truly believed it. And Ian never wanted to leave Najamba all alone. The villagers would survive with or without him, but it was also like home. He wanted it to stay safe. Gerard would be there to make sure, and Ian, while not abandoning Najamba, could at least leave without feeling guilty. And he was going to leave, at least for a little while. He had his wife to meet in Vegas, after all. Later that night, as the celebration wound down, Saba left her husband's side to sit next to Ian.
I am thankful you are here with us.
I am too. You look beautiful. She dipped her head.
Thank you.
Keep him in line for me. She smiled.
He will be happy.
I know he will. How could he not be with you as his wife? Her smile dimmed.
Ian, I have a confession. It's about those pictures. I didn't know.
Ian had nearly forgotten about the leaked photos. He did not want to know who had taken them, especially if it was Saba. Whatever happened in the past, Saba, let it remain there. No one could have known, not even me.
But I should have never.
There are many things I should have never done, and yet I did. We are full of mistakes. It's best just to move on and learn from them. I'll always think of you as my sister. Nothing will change that. He touched her chin, lifting her eyes to him. Nothing. She hugged him until Gerard caught notice and dragged her away.
I'm starting to feel left out.
She transferred the hug to Gerard.
He's not mad.
She said tearfully into his shoulder.
I told you he wouldn't be.
He said, kissing the top of her head.
Why doesn't anyone ever believe me?
Probably because you're full of BS half the time, Ian said. Gerard smiled over Saba's shoulder and then whisked her away down the path to their newly built hut. Ian hobbled to his, hoping the night would be quick so he could see Gwen that much sooner. He had many things to do before he saw her.